Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Okay, people.
What you got today, Ed? What you got?
Man, I think I'm going to hold this off until about halfway through.
Well, I can throw some out.
It's ugly. Whatever
It's
you're
ugly.
ready to say, whatever you're ready to say, man, it's ugly.
It's ugly?
Oh, man.
Well, I got some ugly stuff too here.
Somebody wrote an article on the Democrats, and it's ugly. I mean, ugly.
We got to get the 411, bro.
Hey, man, they talked about them, and what they said, man, hey, I got to agree with most of it, with what they're saying.
Are you going to tell us about it, or are you going to wait?
Huh? No, we'll go ahead on, because I'm going to have to. I don't think the audience is gonna like what I'm getting ready to say.
Well,
what they
I'm going to say this. Let the chaos begin.
Go ahead.
45, soon to be 47. He coming after the press. And we talked about it yesterday. He already made a statement. There's an article on there right now saying that he's coming after the post office. And he's coming after California with their gas, trying to make all these cars be electric. So, chaos. This is his whole MO. Anything anybody try to do to progress things or try to make things better, no, we're going to cut the post office off, and we're coming after the press, and we're going to stop this nonsense about getting rid of all the gas cars. Another thing, tariffs and taxes and loan rates. Now the tariffs, they're going to be retaliation. Canada, Europe, and other countries, Mexico. And these business people don't know what to think, what to do. So what has been going on? The market has gone down, blown in the last week. You remember about three weeks ago, they was all, Fox News was talking about, yeah, this is the Trump effect. All of a sudden now everything is going up. The stock market was going up, and this was happening, and everything was all rosy because he's back in office. Now, the market has lost almost 1,200 points in all phases of them, NASDAQ, all of them. And now, they're blaming it on who? The Fed. Just because he dropped the rate 25 basis points. Talking about the economy is good. Unemployment is good. That's what he was saying. He's saying everything is good right now. Everything is good. I mean, the unemployment rate is 4.3, and everything is good. That's what he was saying, and so therefore he dropped the only 0.25, 25 basis points. And then all these other people, that's against trying to speak up for Donald Trump. Well, this is bad. He shouldn't have did that. But Donald Trump, he always wants the race to be down low. So what he's doing is he's kowtowing to Trump, in my opinion, because he's talking about bringing it down uh, 50 basis points the next go around. Next thing you know, they're going to be doing quantitative easing. So tax cuts, tax cuts. Don't. Hey, they working with that right now to keep it down. Trump want to bring it down to 12%, bruh. Was it 12? Yeah, 12%. So they working on that. Don't nobody know what to do, man. Nothing is stable. Everything has just went berserk. These people are running around with their heads chucked off. They don't know. It's almost like they're excited, but they're not excited. Because see, they don't want stagnant, and they want. I think they like the chaos, bro. Because they can figure out how they can win. Who's gonna win the money? Who's gonna get the money? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they must like this chaos, bro. That's all I can say. Because everything was stable. Or Biden, you can depend on him. You know what he's gonna do. They don't know what this man gonna do, bro. They don't know how this stuff gonna turn out. You said the other day, they're already in Illinois. They're gonna run a lot of these. We don't know. They don't know, man. All these business people is just they head. They run around with their head like a chicken, cut off. So I don't know. This right here is gonna be a. This gonna be. You said it yesterday. This is gonna be a rough damn ride, bro. This is gonna be. This is gonna be something.
But even though it's chaos out there, Ted, you got to find the calm in the chaos. We got to find that calm. Yes, that man's opened his mouth and he's saying all this old crazy stuff, like he's been saying all these many years. He opens his mouth and say crazy stuff all the time. But you got to stay calm and just look at him and stuff because half that stuff that he's talking about ain't never gonna happen. he just opened his mouth and talking crap. When has he ever done anything other than put money in his pocket in his kid's pocket? He had one thing that he accomplished, and that was that tax cut. In his
And he
four
didn't even
years
write that. That was
in his 4 years of
McConnell.
office, he accomplished that tax cut, and that was it. That was it. There is no way he gonna get no tax cut down to no 12%. No way. It's not going to happen. His little,
That's what Irish. That's what theirs is. Ireland.
eh, his little majority in the House is so thin now that all it takes is one or two of them, and his stuff gonna fall apart. As long as Hakeem can keep his Democratic folks in line, we shouldn't have to worry about anything. But it's all up to Hakeem. It's in his hands to keep his folks in line. But he got a challenge ahead of him, and I can see the dark clouds coming. And he got a problem coming on the horizon that if he can't deal with it and everything, it's going to take his whole minority leadership and stuff down the pipe. He's got to fight with the youth, with the young folks in Congress, congressional congressmen, and he got to fight with them old dogs. And he's not saying a whole lot. He's not opening his mouth and saying anything. I guess he's waiting until after January or whenever they swore them in for their next Congress. What he gonna do? Make sure that he is still a minority leader. But he got a problem he gonna have to deal with. And that's one of the things that I'm saying that I'm going to be talking about later on during the show. But I just wanted to throw that out. All I'm saying to you, Ted, calm down, my brother. Calm down, my brother. Calm down. Calm down. Donald likes to operate in chaos. He likes that. He likes to see people running around. He loves it. He just sits back and laughs at them. You just got to calm down. Calm down in his mess. Calm down. You see already that he done sued ABC.
Yeah.
And ABC is sitting there like ignoramuses and allowed him to do that crap. And their reasoning for giving him that money was because they said they didn't want no whole lot of mess going down the road. So let's go ahead and pay him off. But they don't realize the damage that they cause by doing that.
Yeah.
They cause more damage by doing that. Yes, now they'll be out of the spotlight in just a little bit, but they done cause damage because this man now thinks, and all the rest of his little buddies are thinking now, we're gonna sue these days. And they say anything about us, we're gonna sue them. Now he done turned around there, said yesterday, I'm getting ready to sue the Des Moines Register because they said that I wasn't going to win because they put some poster on that thing. You remember that lady we talked about and everything that did
Yeah.
that poll and everything that said that he might be able to lose Iowa? Well,
Yeah.
they put her thing on their newspaper and now he pissed off about it. So he's suing them and stuff for it. Somebody better stand up against that knucklehead and everything. Somebody got to stand up. I hope the more register and stuff got enough uh, balls to stand up to him and everything and say, I'm not paying you a dime. You're going to take me all the way to the Supreme Court, but we're going to keep this stuff going until you die. Keep it in the court until he dies. Keep filing all this stuff. Get some attorneys down there. It's all right. Get them a pot of money and put it over there and give it to some smart attorney and hire them and have them go in there and keep that stuff going. And don't pay him nothing because if you do, he is going to keep on. You cannot lay down to a bully. All this stock market stuff going down because he said something. I'll be looking at them daggone companies who are sitting down there and they stock falling down because Trump and said something. I wouldn't put a dime in their pocket. I wouldn't invest a quarter with them because they sitting down there letting this knucklehead tell them and generating all this other mess. That son of a gun, come January the 20th, when he gets in office, he's going to sit down there with all that bluster going on and ain't nothing going to happen.
He probably will be there for a minute and then he'll go off to
He
the
gonna be there for a minute, and they're gonna be he gonna be doing these news stuff and telling all these people this crazy crap. But he ain't gonna be able to do nothing because he has to have these other folks to get him done. Now, you done?
Go ahead.
His old henchman going around and talking crazy about deporting all these folks. Now he done got the National Sheriff's Association all pissed off and everything because he's telling these sheriffs and stuff that they better do what he said do. Now they are sprouting laws and stuff and everything that has been gone through the Supreme Court saying that the state is not responsible for immigration, only the federal government. And the state has no responsibility to go out there and arrest or do anything at all to these folks out there who are immigrants. So they can't force these people to do nothing. But you got a few of them out there who saying that they're going to do what they ask them to do. But that's their prerogative and everything. So if I'm those immigrants or whatever, I'm gonna find me a county that the sheriff is friendly with me and ain't going to enact all that stuff, and that's where I'm moving to. Or I'm gonna find me a state to move to, and that's where I'm going. Because to keep them fools off of me, you know, that's all they do it. Driving them folks out of Texas to California, driving them out of Texas to Illinois, or other states and everything that says they ain't gonna put up with that crap. What the federal government talking about doing. They ain't going to insist them in doing it, and they can't force them to do it. It's against the law.
Well,
It's against the law. They cannot do it. So all that bluster they out there talking about sending these people. Now, that ain't saying, Ted, that some of these folks ain't going to be deported. It ain't saying that they're not going to be deported, because they're going to get a whole bunch of them and they're going to deport them.
oh yeah, and they're gonna make sure that it be publicized.
Yes, sir. They're going to publicize all of them, just like they just did. They just grabbed a family out of, I think, someplace in Texas. And this guy is, he's American, and he married a Hispanic woman. They then deported her and her children.
Damn,
Put them on a plane and sent their butt
they
to
was born
Reynosa,
here.
and sent their butt to Reynosa, Mexico, where they don't know his family don't know anybody down there. They've already deported them. It's in the news. They put him on the plane. The old boy, her husband, crying like all get out. Where my family at? He couldn't stop them.
Mm.
They took her and their children, and I think two of them were born here in the United States. Put them on a plane.
So what do you think the other country's gonna do when those Americans go over there to another country and they have kids?
They said this is just the tip of the iceberg getting ready to happen. There's going to be a whole lot more stories just like this. They're taking them families away and shipping them back to these countries. So it's just the tip of the iceberg getting ready to happen. They already I guess they they got the guy on the news. He had a Hispanic name, but he was born here. He was in U.S. born American. I guess the birthright didn't hit him because I guess he must have been two generations and stuff for being here. So they couldn't bother him. But because his wife was newly born here, wasn't even born here, but they had two children who were born here, they still took them, her and the children, put them on a plane. There you go, folks. And
He got a job,
and the
he got
question
a
they were
house.
saying, well, Biden's the president. Why are they doing it now? He's a lame duck president, folks. He lame duck. He only got so much power, and that's it. They started. They taking him away, buddy. Put him and getting him out of here. Yeah, my birthright is intact. I got two or three generations behind me. Hey. So, I don't know what to say, Ted. Uh, Go ahead. You got something to say now? What? You through?
Um, I'm just gonna bring this up. 2024, NASDAQ got 171 IPOs. This is what this tells you is that when the IPOs are showing up, initial public offerings, when they show up, that means businesses are trying to come on board in the stock market. However, there's a caveat. There are 48 SPACs. SPACs stand for Special Purchase Acquisitions Company. You remember we was talking about acquisitions and mergers and all that?
Mm-hmm.
What these things do is they raises the capital through a initial public offering to acquire or merge with an existing company.
Mm-hmm.
Because these companies don't have the wherewithal to carry it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
They're just out there in the business world doing their business, but then they want to go to the stock market and so they can raise more money for their company.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you break it down, we don't know who these people are that's taking over these 48 companies and the type of companies they are. Because you got to get a special inroad to get those 48 companies. Because those people, if any out of that 48 companies is going to be coming up, they only let special people invest in those companies. Bring that stock market to $30, $35 a share.
Mm-hmm.
They invested billions of dollars into these companies. The stock market goes up. Everybody talks about it. People start putting money into it. Especially if it was a hot one. So out of the 48, which ones is going to be the hot ones? Because some of them are going to fail, of course. But that's 171 new ones. I mean, if you subtract the 48 from 71, you got over 100 that's going to be new additions. Now, why have they held those for so long? There's a reason. Because they want to find out and make sure those taxes, who's going to come in office, and those taxes benefits and all of that kind of stuff. So now they're going to run those bad fellas through dribble by dribble, dribble by dribble, and then have more. Because see, that's why I say right now the stock market lost 1,200, almost 1,200 points, and then you got your other markets, New York Stock Exchange, all of those, your Nasdaq and all of they lost a lot of points. A lot of people are selling off, and I think it's really profit taking. Really, that's what I think. But anyway, what these people are doing. So when these companies come on board next year, then the excitement's gonna start coming
Mm-hmm.
back again, and then the stock market gonna blow up. Now, see, here's the thing. I remember 30 years ago, 35, damn near 40 years ago. I remember the stock market was $1,200, 1,100 points.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy said the stock market is going to be 20,000. Everybody thought he was insane.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
reached
went way
20,000.
past that. It done
Way
went
past.
way past that.
Now, you know what they
Took a
say
little
it's
bit
going to be?
longer. Took a little bit longer, but it done gone way past that.
You know what? You know what? You know what they say it's going to be? 80,000.
Could be. Could be. It could be. I ain't gonna say it ain't.
Do you
But
know
but
right
you hit
now
but you
we
hit the
have
nail but you hit the nail on the head, Ted. You said there's profit taking going on. So you know why it is, right? It's Christmas time. Everybody want a little extra money for Christmas. Profit taking
absolutely,
for Christmas. Got to
absolutely,
need a few extra dollars and stuff because Mama want a
absolutely,
coat or a new car.
absolutely,
A new car.
absolutely. Because if you go into some of these companies and you look at their officers, and I can almost guarantee you, a lot of them sold a whole lot of shares to get get that cash for Christmas.
hmm
Some of those officers.
Yep, they got some. They get that money for Christmas presents. You know, everybody needs some Christmas presents, so they taking money.
You
That's
sell,
exactly
you
right.
sell, you sell 10,000 worth of shares of United Healthcare, which is $500 a share. You
hmm
got you some money, bro.
Hey, but they need it, Ted, because you know them big time folks and everything. Them fur
Oh
coats
yeah,
nowadays ain't
they
cheap.
got to buy they got to
Yeah,
buy they wives a
yeah,
brand new car for
yeah.
2025.
Or their girlfriend.
Oh yeah, might get her a new place. She tired
Yeah,
of living in that
she
one
needed a new
bedroom.
condo. She want a new
She
condo.
tired of living in that one bedroom. Come on, bro.
I need 2 bedroom condo now.
I want a 2 bedroom and I want a place where I
Yeah.
can work out.
Yes, sir. I want to go up into that high. I want to go up into that tower down there in Manhattan. Hey, and them babies ain't cheap. Hey, they're looking at $20,000 a month payments and stuff, and that ain't counting your down payment and your security deposit. She got to have new furniture.
Boy, these people are a mess.
Yeah, man, he gonna spend a million and stuff, a million or two for.
These people are a mess, bro. They're a mess. I
Hey
mean,
man,
hey, the thing is that I can't hate on them because they playing the game, bro.
hey,
We ain't in the game.
we
Most
ain't in
of
the
us ain't
game.
in the game.
They done gone way past us to you.
Yeah,
They're
that's what
going
I'm
way
saying. We
past
ain't
us.
in the game, bro.
They
I
done gone
mean,
way past us.
so hey, more power to them. Hey, if they that lifestyle,
Man, I was speaking about that. We they done, they done lost our folks, man. I'm reading the article and stuff this afternoon before the show started. I was down by the lake and I'm sitting down reading, and they're talking about quantum computing, and I'm reading this stuff, and I'm saying to myself, they got they got physicists that's sitting out there trying to figure out how to deal with this quantum computing and putting a microchip out there on this thing that's supposed to do a it's supposed to do a process, and this chip only going to allow the other side of the chip to see this daggone process in 1 billionth of a second.
woo,
Can you imagine how fast that is? And they trying to get the other side of the chip to be able to read this thing because it's only going to do it for 1 billionth of a second. So they can't get the other side of the chip to see it or to read it, because if they don't get it, then it's gone. It's not going to happen anymore. That's what these people are dealing with, man. Can you imagine 1 billionth of a second? It's going to say, look, you can't even see it with the human eye. You probably can't even see it with a microscope. And that's what these folks are dealing with.
yeah.
Quantum computing. I said, oh my God, our folks is we we ain't That's way beyond us.
Well, see, you say our folks, but it's the American people. Total.
A lot of them, but there are some Americans now who are doing it because most of these guys who are doing it, man, they are professors in some of these big universities and stuff. California Institute of Technology, MIT, University of Virginia. They've got professors out there who are working on these theories and stuff out there. They out there doing it now. They got them foreign names on them though. They got them Indian names and stuff and Chinese names on them. But they do live here.
Well, I don't know if you realize this. I'm sure you do. You're aware. All you gotta do is look who's in the offices in these different title positions: Asians, Indians, and even in the business world, they are all over. They have taken over. That fiasco that 45 did with that Asian guy talking about $100 billion, the people that was in the news that asked him the question was mostly Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
Today, they gave this Asian woman to talk to the Fed. Asian woman talk to the Fed 10 minutes back and forth about our economy. So I'm saying, well, where's there ain't no blacks in there? And now, in the meeting, in the press conference, if they are, they way in the back. Woo, man, we are. We sitting up here pennies, nickels, and dimes. That's all I can
Mm-hmm.
say.
Absolutely. And
Penny,
and you got a president getting ready to come in to take this office, and you just said earlier that he is getting ready to go over there and fight California because they're trying to put electric cars on there and stop these cars from being any cars coming in the state of California that comes in there and it uses fossil fuel as a driving agent or something that they can put in their car. So they're trying to change this stuff. Guess what the UK just did? They closed down the last coal-fired furnace in that country. They shut it down
shut it down.
because they said that they are going to renewable energy now. But we are sitting over here with Dum Dum getting ready to come into the White House, and then he's telling these folks over there that he's gonna fight them because they're trying to get rid of this emissions that is ruining our climate. And you got another country sitting over there that been burning coal for a long time and they done shut it down. The last one got shut down.
Shutting it down.
So they can go to renewable energy to produce their energy. And they were fighting, they already got these offshore wind turbines and stuff all along the coastline over there. Now they talking about they had a law against bringing them inshore and putting them on shore, that they done changed the law and stuff now and everything, that they're going to allow them to have these wind turbine, wind things and stuff on land in England to help them produce energy. But we got a dum dum saying that he gonna fight them because they're trying to get rid of fossil fuel cars. Whoa. And right here in his own country, down in your state, in Miami, they have condominiums on the coast that are falling into the ocean. the sea is rising and they can't keep up. That place was built on limestone, and they said the limestone is breaking down and the oceans is coming in there, and the land can't stand it. And these daggone condominiums, they got this sitting up there on them beaches, and these folks can't walk in there, and they can't even close their doors now because that the building done leaned, or they done got too much of a lean and stuff on it where it done offset the levelness and stuff. It's not level anymore. It done offset itself, so now they can't even close their doors or shut their windows because they building getting ready to fall into that ocean because of climate change.
Yeah.
And they supposed to now getting ready to pass them a budget by this weekend, a continuing resolution, but they were fighting over giving these folks money for disaster aid down in North Carolina and Florida. That was one of the holdups for passing this stuff. These people have a disaster going on. They need that money. FEMA needs some money to help these folks. They don't want to give them any money. But they're ready to give a tax cut out. Woe is us, Ted.
American people, I'm going to say this, the YT people don't even know what they voted for.
You know what they do.
Don't even know.
Yep. Now, we over halfway through our stuff. So I got to come up with this. I'm gonna start out slow, but I'm gonna hit them real tough
Ooh, I
here.
got to hear this.
My girl, AOC, got the crap beat out of her in the election for that seat to be the ranking member of the Oversight Committee. And the reason why she got the crap beat out of her and everything is because our past speaker decided that she didn't want her to have that job. And she's sitting in the hospital having hip surgery and calling people up to beat her out of that daggone seat.
What?
Nancy called up in the hospital. She calling people in the hospital to keep her from getting that seat. Calling in her folks. Don't let her have that seat. Give it to Gary Conley, 74 years old. And he got cancer, throat
Yep.
cancer.
Yep.
He going through chemotherapy, throat cancer, and she wanted to put him into that seat as a ranking member. Not girlfriend out. She ain't sick. She's strong enough to sit down there. It ain't like she dumb. She can handle the seat. But they want them old folks to still keep them leadership jobs. And we are wondering and stuff why the Democratic Party can't get the young folks to come out and vote for them. Ted. I don't know if you've been seeing the Washington Post, New York Times, but they're asking a question. Where's Harris?
Ooh.
They're asking
Ooh.
a question. Where's Harris? Where
Ooh.
is Kamala Harris? She, all during the whole thing, she was griping and everything about these folks coming in there and taking over, and we got to stop them. But now that she done lost the election, where's she at? These people. So did you lie to the people and tell them that we had a disaster going on, and then as soon as the disaster's getting ready to happen, you getting ready to leave us? Where's Kamala Harris?
Uh-oh. You stepping on some toes now, Ed.
Oh yeah, I told you, man, we get ready to step on some toes here. Where's Kamala Harris at? And then there's a big article that came out and stuff and everything, and man, this writer got on the Democratic Party. They said, I don't know where the Democratic Party at. He said, when right after Barack Obama, because he said, I was in my early 20s when Barack Obama got elected president. And he said the day he got elected, the Republican Party got together in a dinner and said that they're going to get down there and they're going to fight this man tooth and nail, got all their members together and everything to tell them we're going to fight this son of a gun. And the next election came up and stuff, they took over the House. Where the Democrats at? Ain't nobody out there saying nothing. They ain't open their mouth. They're not sitting down there talking about what they're going to do. We are a rudderless ship right now. We don't have no leaders out there saying anything at all. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's saying a word. Where's Harris?
Hey,
They
you
dogged
brought
him
that up.
out. He said they remember, and I remember too. As soon as they brought it up, I remember what they did because Mitch McConnell stood up there and said he ain't going to get nothing from us, and he didn't lie. He had resistance against Obama from day one. He was going to fight him. He don't care. And they said one thing. Now that we are a minority, if we don't fight, then we're going to stay a minority. You want to be a majority, then you got to fight when you are a minority. What truer words have been said. It was bad.
Everything
I
is
mean,
politics, bro.
they
Everything
raked
is
them over the
politics.
coals. And then they jumped on them about this thing with AOC. She got a lot of folks out there, man, that got a lot of words to say who are in her corner and saying that they shouldn't have put that old man into that job. He is old. He got cancer. So we understand they said they feel sorry for the man because he got cancer, but he can't handle the job. Take him out. And until they do something about it and everything, and the Democratic Party gets some balls behind them, they're going to stay in the minority because they're not ready to fight. It was scathing, man. It was 13 pages long.
Woo!
And I mean, they raked them Democrats over the coals.
They don't want to give up that power, bro. They don't want to give up that power.
You lose, you still fight. They wasn't scared to fight. They weren't scared to fight Obama. They were not afraid. And now they back in the majority because they're not scared to fight. No matter what, they're not scared to fight. But we Democrats, we just kowtow, I cried, all this other stuff and everything. And we got to get, if you down there fighting somebody, you better get dirty. You better kick them son of guns in the balls just like they're kicking you in the balls. If you ain't ready to fight, you are going to stay in the minority. You can't expect people to sit down there and back you up when you're not even out there doing what you're supposed to be doing as a party, as your party leader. We don't have no leaders nowhere. If you look around, Ted, we don't. I can't think of anybody right now that I can call my leader in the Democratic Party. Can you?
Well,
Now, Trump lost the election, but he didn't stop. He cried, beat people over the head, hollered and screamed. They stole the election from me. You know he was
for 4
lying.
years.
For 4 years he did it. They stole the election from me. And you know he was lying, but at least he got out there and said something. He opened his mouth and said something, rallied his people up,
He
rallied them
had
MAGA folks up. They sat
he
down
was
there and
going
to the
out
day,
on he was going out on rallies for 4 years.
and telling people they stole the election. And there were people who were following him said the same thing. They stole the election. There were people up there in that house who were sitting up there in the House of Representatives and also part of some of the folks in the Senate. They stole the election, and they kept saying it.
We're lazy. They're lazy. Because here's the thing. Harris has to, whoever's running the Democratic Party, she got to follow the flow. Who you think is running behind the scenes? Give me some names.
And nobody that I know of.
You don't think nobody's running the Democratic Party behind the scenes?
No, I don't. You got to hear somebody speaking up. Only one I know speaking up is Jasmine. I see Jasmine out there talking. She
No,
out there.
no. I'm talking about the low key people who wants things to be normal. They think that we are in a normal. This man is a traitor. Normal. They want normalcy. He wants chaos. They want normalcy, bro. That's all it is. They want things to go back the way they were. You know, like
That's
arguing
not
back
going
and
to
forth
happen.
about issues and talking about this and talking about that. You ain't got those people on the other side talking that way.
You
They
have to.
talking. They talking everything that they try to bring a decent person on in judgeship or any kind of title or position. They coming against. They want
But
normalcy,
if you
but you
want
ain't gonna get
normalcy,
normalcy. We ain't in that. We ain't
if
in
you
that
want
boat yet.
things to be normal, Ted, you got to still have to tell people what the heck going on. You're going to have to give them some leadership. You got to give them some guidance and let them know what you're thinking about. You can't just sit down there and say, "Well, I want it to be normal," and expect it to be normal because the
But
man on the
think
bully
about what I'm
pulpit.
saying. What I'm
What are you
saying
saying?
is, what I'm saying is that they are afraid to speak up. They are afraid to speak up.
Well, that's what
What
I'm
is it?
saying.
Some of the things that they have challenged with their life, their family. These people that's out there on the other side, they come at you, bro, physically, mentally, calls, letters, all of that, threatening.
Right,
This is what they're doing
right.
because if you speak up, now I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think that Jasmine life has not been threatened 1,000, 10,000 times?
Oh hell yes, she knows she is. She don't care. They threatened Martin Luther King. They threatened Malcolm X. They threatened every last one of our leaders. They threatened the Black Panthers. They did whatever they could to threaten them. They didn't care. They still stood up. That's
But
the only
what
way you're
I'm
gonna make
saying
change.
is, there are people out there that they want the job and they want the title, they want all the bennies, but they don't want to fight for it.
Well, they need to stand down. We don't need them.
Well, they in office, Brian, know what we can do.
Yes, it is. You can stand up and say something. We can stand up and say something. We don't want them. Well, Nancy, that's why I'm sitting on this daggone program saying Nancy was wrong for sitting there in that daggone hospital bed trying to get this man who's sick to take a daggone ranking member seat. She was wrong for doing that. And I think Hakeem was wrong for allowing it to happen. Or he should have opened his mouth and said something. Tell somebody why you want that son of a gun to hold that seat. Give me some reasons why he's supposed to hold that seat, other than him being a senior member. Just because you're the senior member don't mean you're qualified or you're gonna speak up. Give me a reason. She didn't give anybody no reason other than he's senior, so put him in the job. That's no reason to put somebody into a position because they are senior. He's a senior member, so we got to keep this thing going on. All the senior people supposed that he waited all this time to have a job, so now he's supposed to have it. No, he's not. That's all I'm saying. And you're right. That's what they want. They want it to be normal. But you can't do anything by being normal nowadays. That man is not going to allow you to be normal. And I don't care what you do. Anytime you speak up, somebody going to say something against it. So what? I'm looking at our lady down here and stuff. Don't tell me that she ain't been threatened and all that kind of stuff. She can't even go to her own house to live, but she's still standing up and speaking her mind and not taking in that crap from me daggone Republicans who are sitting down here. Go on, girlfriend. You got lady up there in New York, Attorney General. She ain't backing down for them son of a gun. Don't tell me that she ain't been threatened. You got the district attorney sitting over there in Manhattan, district attorney. Now he got this guy who trying to convict him for murder or whatever. But don't tell me that Larry ain't been threatened. But he ain't gonna say a word about it because he ain't gonna allow those people and everything to take control of him. And I don't see what Gary Conley, he's a nice guy.
Who?
Gary Conley, he's a nice guy. I ain't saying anything
Oh
bad
yeah,
about him. I ain't saying
he
anything bad
speaks up
about him.
every now
He
and
a
then.
nice guy. He's a Democrat. He's been a Democrat, law Democrat for a long time. But brother, you need to step down. Let somebody have that seat who's gonna stand up to these summer guns, who's gonna speak up and tell these summer guns what's going on. You can't have an oversight going on and stuff, and you sitting there all quiet and ain't opening your mouth. I don't see him when he wasn't the ranking member opening his mouth up and saying anything about what the heck these summer guns are doing, what they're trying to do. You never heard a peep out of him.
Well, he
But you
said
heard
some
something
things.
from AOC, you heard something from Jasmine, you heard something from girlfriend up there
He
in
said some things every
Connecticut,
once in a while.
but he wasn't like what they were saying.
No,
Put
no,
that
no,
stuff
no,
out
no.
there.
Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Because I done watched a bunch of those committee meetings.
Yeah, he got to open his mouth and say something. They don't want nobody to sit and be quiet. Well, okay, we're going to allow that to happen. You got to open your mouth and let them know. We ain't putting up with this mess here. Man, I'm gonna put that article, man, on our website so people can read it. I'm gonna put it up there so people can read it. It's like it's scathing.
13 pages.
It's more than that. But
Damn.
I just read 13 pages. He kept on. I mean, he was ranting and raving. And he was bringing up a whole lot of stuff, man,
Who
that I
was
hadn't
the
even thought about.
Who was the author of that?
I don't know, some newspaper outlet out there that's still sitting out there working. He's a writer for, oh man, I can't think of the outlet, but they are one of those liberal liberal newsletters that's out, and they've been fighting these Republicans for a long time, and anything that's going on, they'd be talking about it. Matter of fact, the people that put out this thing about Nancy Pelosi. She's sitting in the hospital bed and stabbing those AOC in the back. I didn't even know she had done it until I read the article. And they talked about those Democrats and stuff sitting down there kowtowing and stuff to seniority. When these other folks and stuff, they don't care nothing about seniority. They care somebody who's gonna stand up there and do something. And they may be doing some crazy stuff, but they're doing something. Do
Poe
something,
Biden.
even
Poe
if it's
Biden.
wrong.
Poe Biden trying to do something, talking
Yeah,
about Biden supports a ban on congressional stock trading. How long they been talking about that?
a long time.
And
I
he gonna wait
I
till the
told you, my
last
boy,
minute.
he trying to be normal again, but you can't be normal up there. And you in a storm, man. You got to put up some strong windows and stuff and everything. You got to put up a whole lot of stuff. You got to board up some windows and board some doors up. You in a storm. They were talking about how the other day Trump come on there for 40 minutes, sprouting all kind of crazy stuff and everything, and Biden got on there and did a speech and everything, and nobody even covered it.
Mm.
And what he was saying in his speech and stuff was just like you were just saying. You trying to be normal and be normal, but they weren't listening to that. But they listened to that crazy man sit down there talking all that old stuff out the side of his head. Matter of fact, most of the news media and stuff said it. That was some crazy stuff he just said, but they listened to it. Somebody got to stand up and tell him that was some crazy stuff he just said. That was absolutely crazy. Why would anybody want to listen to that crap? Stand up, people. I know mourning time is over. we got to be through mourning now. I was mourning for a while, after January and November. I was mourning, but I'm out of mourning now.
Well, here's what they're doing. I'm gonna tell you what they're doing here. They're trying to pass all of these things, roadblocks for 45 to be soon to be 47 to come in, and that's what they've been doing all this time. You got Schumer, you got all of them bringing up all kinds of roadblocks. They rush through a lot of judges and all of that, doing everything they can so they can make it as smooth, make it as difficult for him as possible. So this is the way they feel this is their resistance. And they passing laws to do this. So to stop them doing crazy stuff. So that's the reason why he came up with them little pity things, like bringing up the post office and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that's the way they're going, man. That's just my opinion. That's the only thing I can think of how they fighting. They have put up some roadblocks, and those roadblocks will slow him down. Instead of getting loud and boisterous and confrontational, and because a lot of those people on the other side, they low IQ, bro. They don't know what's going on. You got what, Bad Bill? She talking about running for Senate. So I'm just saying, bro. I think that's where they're going. I ain't saying it's right. I ain't saying it's wrong. All I'm
I,
saying
I,
is,
I'm, all I'm saying is that you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Most of the time, you can walk and chew gum at the same time.
for
So
some
you
reason,
can
man,
walk, you
some
can walk,
reason,
huh? You can walk and do what
yeah,
you're doing,
for
but you can
some
all.
reason, the Democrats can't do that.
Well, they better learn. Teaching time is over. You got to walk and chew gum at the same time.
They can't do it here.
Yes, they really better. If they don't, they're gonna lose this battle. You got
Well,
to walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm looking at this little bitty country over there, Ukraine. That daggone big old Russia sitting over there with 3 times the amount of land space that they got, and them little rascals over there fighting with every bit of strength they got. They done sent folks over there and everything, assassinating them people, and them folks coming back over there and they done put up a damn good fight, man, for the last 3 years, 2 years, 2.5 years. Put up a damn good fight. And they still fighting. They ain't giving up. Fighting for their life because they don't want that big old bear over there to incorporate them. That's the only way they're gonna. That's the only way you're gonna win. You got to keep fighting with whatever you got.
they just
We.
passed a $885 billion DOD budget. 885 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You add another trillion, they're gonna spend almost 2 trillion for the military.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was listening to conservative radio this morning, and their conversation was all about the budget. The budget is $36 trillion. What we gonna cut? Well, the only thing to cut now, is Medicare and Social Security. They're entitlements. Now it's been proven, and I've seen the budget that they paying Social Security, putting in 80, 90% of the money to pay Social Security.
Yeah.
Medicare, don't people? I remember when I used to work, didn't they take out for Medicare?
Yep. Every
How's that
time
an
you got paid,
entitlement?
every time they gave you a check,
That's what I'm saying. How's that
every,
an entitlement?
every time you gave you a check,
That's what I'm saying.
that's because
Social Security and
just like
Medicare.
you just said, Ted, just like they keep talking about Social Security and Medicare and all that stuff and everything, you don't hear these folks on the other side and stuff telling these people that's not an entitlement, folks. Them people paid for that stuff. Them people who sitting over there been paying into that fund all their lives. And ain't nobody saying it. And telling people you are a lie. That is not. You are lying. You are listening to, but they are lying to you. And you ought to know it. And look the American people in the face and tell them they lying to you. That money belongs to you.
And they're trying to convince their listeners. Now
And
here's the
they
thing.
and they got these stupid folks who are getting the checks who believe it. And they getting ready to cut you off. And you sitting there believing it. You stupid son of a gun, you.
No, but here's their rub though. Oh well, those people that's been, you have to have a cutoff. The elderly people need to still be getting theirs, but then you got to have a cutoff, or you got to cut some of those benefits to cut down the entitlements. So they putting it out there, bro. They putting it out there,
And they keep
constantly
doing it
putting
all
it
the
out there.
time. They keep doing it all the time. They've been talking about it since 2000. We're talking about for 24 years.
Well, that's the
24
same
years.
thing. Yeah, that's the same thing they did when it came to women's rights.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 24 years that I know of.
They did that one for 50 years, and look
Yeah.
what happened.
Okay.
They had a guy. They had on the Senate committee. They had a guy who went to jail to try to stop abortion. He spoke for a solid, I don't know how long, but he was rapping. He was just talking about like he was justifying because he's a Christian and this is my blah 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 blah. To try to stop all of these abortions and this is my Christian right, and I was peaceful. When you had these people running around killing doctors and everything else, calling themselves a Christian.
Mm-hmm. Setting the clinics on fire, putting bombs in the clinics, bombing doctors. But he finally got it passed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What they do is they never
Finally got it.
give up.
They never gave up. And I don't know why we're
And
trying
here
to
we
give.
are. The thing is, they got to find, you know what? They don't have a cause, bro. They don't have
They
a
ain't got the
cause.
they ain't got
You
the
know,
power.
you know what their cause was? I'm going to tell you what their cause was, Ed. Their cause was civil rights. But we have already had our rights in civil, but their cause should have been redevelopment of our communities. That's what their cause should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Redeveloping our communities. You go into these nice suburbs and all these gated communities and all of that, and everything is fine and wonderful. But invest in our communities.
That's it.
You gotta have a cause. They don't have a cause, bro. They
But
making their $300,000 a year. They got all their bennies and all that. And if they leave office right now, they get a lifetime guaranteed retirement and health
oh,
care.
well, didn't you know that the CR budget man got a raise for them people in Congress?
Really?
Yes, they did. They put them a raise of that. They stuck a raise in there, and they
See,
give.
this is what the American people see. See, the thing is, I ain't trying to stop nobody from making no money.
Yeah,
Come
they
on,
stuck a
bro.
raise in there. They stood a raise in there
You can't
for
work for no
for the
2 years
congressman.
and then you supposed all of a sudden now you got a lifetime retirement plan.
Hey man, they stuck a raise in there for them, for themselves. That was part of the deal. Now they got a raise. They give Congress a raise.
So it went to 175 to what?
I
You
don't
know,
know. They slipped the raise. All I know is they slipped the
probably
raise in
200.
there. Yeah, they slipped the raise in there. But then they slipped the weenie to the retirees and stuff. You know, when your check come on January, your new check come. You know, it's all been eaten up by your part B insurance. All that little raise is gone. It, it's so tiny you can't even see it. So it looked like some of us gonna be cat food. We gonna have cat food. We gonna eat cat food again. We can't. They didn't give us no money.
Well, we're gonna get $25 extra.
That ain't $25. You can't even see it, man. It's so small you can't even see it. You might well think you could have kept that. Hey, people, we having a good old time here, y'all. We got to go though. We got to get out of Dodge. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.